Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. I hope everyone enjoyed their 4th of July. Let's read our inspiration for the day. I'm going to dig on in this jar and see what we got. Okay. And all throughout eternity, I forgive you and you forgive me. W.B. Yeats. Or Yates. That was pretty. I like that. Very pretty. Let's put these to the side and get on into our project for the day. Okay. What is that? What does that go to? Oh, goodness. We're going to do the rose jar again. You say, but my friend, we just done that. We haven't done it in Mix-to-Mold for those who wanted to see it in Mix-to-Mold. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can get done in this with this Mix-to-Mold. I have my water here, my measuring cup here. I went and got me a new measuring cup from my craft room. So I'm not using my one in my kitchen, which is glass in my kitchen, and I can clean it up, but I didn't want to keep doing that. So I'm going to take this glitter that I use a lot. It's non-sinking glitter for resin. And I'm going to brush it, kind of dust it in the little crevices into the mold. And I'm not making any clumps or leaving any, a lot sitting in one spot. I'm just kind of lightly dusting it. And I'm curious to see if that Mix-to-Mold will pick it up and hang on to it. I don't want it to eat it up where I can't see it, or I got to sand it to find it. I want to see if this is going to set right there on the top. I'm just curious to see if it will. I know other people have probably done this, but I haven't done it. I have no clue if it's going to work or not. Okay, now I'm going to get out some little plastic cups here. And I'm going to do it a little different this time. I'm not going to pour all the water into my little bucket because it's just hard for me to stir it up like that. So I'm going to try it this way. My little plastic cups here, they are 2 tablespoons a piece. And I thought they were 1 tablespoon a piece. And I laid out too many cups here. But I was just now finding out, looking at the tablespoon, they're 2 tablespoons a piece. So we only need 3 of them instead of 6. So I'm going to fill up 3 of them all the way to the top, which comes out to be 2 tablespoons. So now there's our 6 tablespoons of water. Now, I'm going to try something new here. I've never seen anybody do this before, which I'm sure they have, but I don't know if it's going to work or not. I went in my kitchen, and I'm tired of this Mix-to-Mold not coloring for a color for me that I want. So I said, well, surely this dye right here will color this Mix-to-Mold. So I picked out 2 of the pinks. One is a neon pink, and the other is a regular color pink. One is a gel, which I'm putting in right now. It's a gel dye. And then the other one, it's food coloring dye. And then the other one is just regular. And I figured since they're water-based and we put water in the Mix-to-Mold, that it would be perfectly fine to use these. Because it would be just like pouring water in the Mix-to-Mold, right? Surely the colorant here would not mess up, the Mix-to-Mold to make it not cure. So we're about to find that out. If you already know that, oops, look what I did. If you already know that it works, then I wish that you could talk to me and tell me that. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to try it. I'm going to dip out my Mix-to-Mold in here and get me a cup of it. And I wanted to say before I go any further that I made a boo-boo yesterday in the drawing. The 10th person that was number 10 to win one of the hands was not Deborah Max. And I'm sorry that I made that boo-boo. The number 10 winner was Kelly Weber 627. So congratulations, Kelly. And Deborah, if you'll please send me your email and let me send you something too to make that right. I'm so sorry I made that mistake. That's not nice to tell someone they won something and they didn't. And I know it was a mistake that I made, but I still want to make it right. So please send me your email address. Okay, now I'm going to change out this little dish here and get my big Yoplait yogurt dish. Y'all don't judge me. And I'm going to use it to stir up my mixed mold in. Okay, I'm going to drop in one of these little cups, the 2 tablespoons of water. And then I'm going to add some of the mixed mold and stir. And if y'all see one of those little light bugs fly across my camera, I left my craft room window cracked open and forgot to close it. So some of those little bugs that like to get to the light got in my craft room. So if you see one fly across the camera, just don't pay him no attention. He don't know no better. Okay, I added another cup, 2 tablespoons of water, and I'm going to go ahead and stir that up. We are getting a nice color pink here. Do y'all see that? I hope that we keep this color. It is very subtle and pretty. I'm making sure I get the sides of my cup here too, so none of that mixed mold is hanging on to the sides. Now we're going to drop in the rest of our water and then the rest of our mixed mold. And this is feeling a little bit soupy, y'all. I don't know how that happened because my measurements are right. I used measuring cups. I know my measurements are right. That's odd. Okay, let's go ahead and add a little bit more of this powder. I see why people don't follow the measurements on here. I wonder why it's off sometimes. That is so strange. It's got to be some scientific reason for it. I don't understand. Maybe it's got something to do with... No, it couldn't have something to do with the chemicals that's in the water because that wouldn't make the water more or less. I don't know, y'all. I'm not going to sit here and try to rack my brain to figure it out. I'll let somebody else do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish trying to stir this mixed mold up. Making sure I get the sides of my dish here. And that pink got a little bit lighter. Did y'all see that? I hope it's not going to continue to get lighter. Surely we're going to keep this color right here. Okay, I'm going to get the bottom part of the jar and I'm going to pour some on in there. Whoops, I almost dropped the whole thing, y'all. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Nice save there. Okay, I'm going to pick that jar up and I'm just going to take a look at it to see if I can see any bubbles on the bottom. And I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and pour and move on further. And I'm just going to tap my jar. I'm going to give it tap, 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 tap. And try to release any of those air bubbles in there. I'm going to beat it on the table. And now I'm going to go ahead and top this mold off. And I'm going to push it right back here to the side and then get this top of the jar. And I'm going to slowly pour in it so that I can try to ease into those little cracks and crevices into the top of the jar. Hopefully I won't get any bubbles in there. Which if I do, I'm going to take a look at the bottom of that and see if I had any bubbles in it. And I can't tell in this one. I could in the bottom, but I can't tell in this. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Nothing I can do about it. If they get in there, the good thing about the mix to mold is we can sand them out. So if I get one in there, I'll just have to sand it out. It doesn't look like our lid here is completely full. And I am just missing just a little bit. Goodness gracious. We're going to have to mix up some more, y'all. So I'm going to do the 1/3 mix to mold, which is the, it's the least amount you can do that's on the container in their directions. So this is the least amount of the one we can do. So it's 2 tablespoons of water and 1/3 of mix to mold. So I'm using the gel and the neon food coloring, and I'm going to give it a little stir. And now we're going to go ahead and get our 1/3 cup of mix to mold. And that looks about right. Okay, I'm going to get the smaller dish that I have that I usually use my mix to mold in. And I'm going to go ahead and pour the water with the food coloring in it into my dish. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of mix to mold, stir, and then we'll go ahead and add the rest. Oh, this looks a little bit different. Oh, goodness. Oh, surely the bottom part of our jar is not going to be a different color from the top. No. Come on, lighten up a little bit. Come on. There you go. There you go. Get a little bit lighter. We need to match. Okay, I think we're going to make it. It's looking better now, y'all. That scared me at first. Because my yellow rose jar, you know, it was two-toned as well. So, you know, why not? Let's make the mix to mold two-tone. But it's looking like it's going to match. Okay, no worries. And I'm going to add a little bit more because it still seems a little bit soupy. Maybe I ought to just chunk the directions on this stuff and just start winging it. Because it's never right anyway. Oh, well, I better stick to the measurements because it at least gets me close. So, no telling what I'd do if I chunked my directions out. Now I'm just stirring it up real good, making sure I get the sides of the container and the bottom of the container. Now it's getting ready to be poured. So I'm going to go ahead and top this mold off right here. And our colors do match. Woohoo! Okay, now I have some left over, which I knew I was going to. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little spear mold here. And I'm going to pour some in it. And I'm going to see if this will match my other scripture dove. If it won't, then no big deal. I'll use it for something else. But I thought it was worth a shot. And my angel mold down here that I'm about to grab now, I dusted in some Let's Resin, oh, crudy, what am I thinking about? It's the Let's Resin Chameleon Powder in olive, the olive colored one. I brushed it down into the mold there, and I want to see if it's going to hang on to that color for me. And I know these are smaller molds, but And at first I thought you couldn't use mixed mold in the smaller molds because it would just crumble. But that's not true. I've seen other people use tiny molds with mixed mold. You just have to be really careful and make sure that it's fully cured, before you start messing with it and stuff. So, I don't know. We may lose a wing, a toe, or a finger off of our angels, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can get some cute angels out of this. If not, then no big deal. I'll know next time not to use this mold if it doesn't work. But I have to give it a try. I have to know. I'm going to take my little silicone tip brush here. And this is something I've never done before. I'm going to see if I can get down into those cracks and crevices into the mold. And see if I can bump those bubbles out if they're in there. And if it doesn't work, then I'll know not to do that anymore. This one needs a little bit more in it. Okay, now we're good on that one. I'm going to scoot that out of the way. Now I got to find something else. Okay, this was just right next to me, y'all. This probably isn't going to work, but I grabbed it. This is the new mold that I got in my last haul from Temu. And it's little bitty angels. And I probably should not have grabbed this mold, but it was the one that I could reach. So, and I know my mixed mold is setting up, and y'all know this stuff sets up fast. You do not have time to think. You don't have time to do nothing. You better move. So, this was the one that I could reach. And I have another heart over here that I'm going to put the rest of this in. But it'll probably set up before I get it in there. Because I'm trying to make sure these little angels are filled. And I'm just taking that silicone tipped brush and running it around in there. Trying to get the mixed mold in every crack and crevice. Now I'm going to take my little brush here, and I'm going to just brush right across the top of it and remove that excess mixed mold off the top. That was just the easiest way that I knew how to do it. And if you're supposed to use gloves with this stuff, y'all don't bite me. I don't think it's a big no to not use gloves with this stuff. But if it is, then I'll be sure and have gloves on next time. Okay. Oh, look, the pink is dark on the back. I wonder if we got that on the inside. Nope, we didn't. This is the one I brushed the chameleon powder in. And look, y'all, it is on there. Let's get a brush and dust it off and see if it'll come off. It's not moving. Oh my goodness. It is on there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh goodness. She's going to look so pretty on that, my other scripture dove. Okay, let's see if we can get the other little angels out. These don't have any color brushed in the mold. So, but look how that came out. There's no bubbles in this angel. Nowhere. Look at his belly button. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love these little angels. Oh, goodness. We lost this one's hands. I knew it. I knew we was going to lose something on one of them. It wasn't going to work out like that. Not for me. Oh, well, we got 2 good angels out of it, so no big deal. And I might can use her some kind of way. You never know. Now, these are the ones I'm sure all of them's going to break. Look, the wing broke on this one already, and I haven't even gotten it out yet. But look, they're cute. I was real curious to see what they looked like because I've never used this mold before. So I was really, really curious to see what they looked like. And I think this mold might end up being one of my favorite. Look at that. I lost this one's wing, but look how precious this angel is, you guys. Look at that. That looks like a real cherub. I love this mold. Could y'all picture these angels? Look at this one. Just adorable. Could y'all picture these little angels on the little words that I make? Oh, look at that one. So cute. Remember the word pray that I put the angels on? Won't these angels look so cute making that creation? Oh, I think it would. We're going to have to try that. The rest of them broke, so I'm not even going to worry about them. I'm going to throw them to the side here and put them in a little baggie and maybe use them for terrazzo or something, terrazzo chips. Okay, here's our little spear, and it looks gorgeous. There are no cracks or holes in it, no bubbles, and the angel looks pretty cute on there. I probably won't use that spear. I'll probably use just the angel because I'm not liking how that's the pink on top of the pink. I don't really like that. So I'll probably do the spear like I done the other spear. Now we've got some air pockets in this right here, y'all. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. Look at that. My. I might have to fill those with some resin. If I sanded them out, it's going to affect how our lid will sit on the jar maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to see if I can sand them out or not. But look at the glitter. We got a few air pockets on the top, which I'm not worried about those. I can sand those right on out of there. Let's go ahead and do that and see what we get. But that glitter, look at it, you guys. It is sitting right on those petals. And it looks so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I'm just going to try to sand some of these little bubbles out and see if it looks better. And it is looking so much better. The only thing I hate about having to do this is the glitter that I put on here. It's taking the glitter away. So we'll just have to see how it looks when I get done. I'm going to brush it, dust it off, and I'm going to finish sanding it. I won't finish sanding all of it on camera, so you won't have to watch all of that. But I do sand all of the top here, the petals, and get all of those air pockets off. Okay, now here's the little heart I was telling y'all about that I put the rest of that mixed mold in. It didn't quite fill it up, but I can use that for something. Okay, now let's demold the bottom part of our jar. This one's kind of hard to get off, but I have figured out how to make it easier. And that's to hold it on one hand and roll it. Keep rolling it. And then I get a part of the top here pulled off, and then I'm homebound. Pop, and there it comes out. It doesn't make that real big nice pop that you hear when it comes out of resin. And here's the bottom part of our jar. It is beautiful. Look at that. I didn't get any air pockets in the leaves. Let's put our lid on and take a look at it. Now those little dots that you see, it hasn't fully dried yet, so those will go away. That won't be there. So now let's see if we can decorate this jar a little bit. I have my rub-on metallics here, and I think I might go for this green in my pack for the leaves. What do y'all think? Let's take a little bit and rub it on my hand. And yes, I think we'll use that for our leaves. It will give it kind of an antique leaf. So I'm just going to put it on my finger here, and I'm going to kind of dab it on. And I'm trying to be careful not to go off of that leaf and get it on the rose jar. So I'm going to dab it on, and then I'm going to burnish it with my finger. Dab and burnish. Dab and burnish. And I love how that is looking. I'm not going to try to get it into the little indentions there that it left to make it for you to know that it's a leaf. I'm going to leave that pink coming through in those lines because I think it looks really good that way. I could get a little tiny brush and go in those lines there, but I'm not going to because I like the look that I'm getting right here. It just brings that leaf out a little bit more. And that looks good. Do y'all like how that's looking? And the more you burnish it, it gets a shiny look to it. I got tickled in the comment section, y'all. I can't remember who said this, but she says, now move on out of the way. I'm ready for the hummingbird, to win the hummingbird. I got so tickled at whoever said that. That was so funny. Oh. You know, because our next drawing is going to be for the hummingbird home decor. So she's ready for that. She's like, y'all get on out of the way with these hands. I'm ready for the hummingbird home decor. Okay, now we're going to take this silver color here. And I'm going to see if I sped this up a little bit because it took me a while to do this part. I'm going to see what this silver looks like on top here, y'all. Okay, I know you're saying, no, don't get the Krylon pen. But work with me here, y'all. Give me a minute. I have an idea. I'm going to take that Krylon pen and I'm going to go over the petals with it. And then my idea is to take the rub-on metallic and give this lid a shadow look. You know, I want it to look like a shadow on the top of the rose jar. So I'm just going to take my Krylon pen here, and it's no big deal that messed up. We're going to burnish it right on out and give this lid a shadow look to it. I hope it's going to work. I'm making sure I get all of the petals with the Krylon pen. This is a leafing pen. Now I'm going to put that away, and we're going to get the rub-on silver metallic, and I'm going to dab a little bit on each petal underneath where I put the Krylon pen. And then I'm going to take my my brush here, and I'm going to blend it in. And I need to get this part right here a little bit darker. And now we can move on. And I'm just dabbing a little bit on each petal of the rub-on metallic. And then I'm going to take my fine brush here, and I'm going to burnish it and give it that shadow that I'm looking for. And I had to speed this part up because it took me a while to get this how I wanted it. It's looking beautiful. What do y'all think? Do y'all like it? Now we need to get this to look the same. So I'm going to take my Krylon pen, and I'm going to go over these little petals here. I'm not going to use the pen on the bigger petals. I'm just going to use it on the smaller petals, because if I did, we wouldn't get that shadow look here. It would totally ruin the jar if I used the Krylon pen on the bigger petals, I think. So I'm just going to make sure I get these dark enough. And let's see how it's looking so far. Okay, now I'm going to dab on that rub-on metallic onto these outer leaves. And then I'm going to take my brush here, and I'm going to blend it in and burnish it really, really well. I'm going to order me some more food coloring dyes, because I really like this color that I got. So I'm going to order me some more. I'm going to see if I can get them in some real pretty colors. And yeah, I'm going to play with that a little bit more. I'm going to experiment with these dyes a little bit more. This is the best thing I have found so far to color this mix-to-mold. And I'm very curious to see if all the other colors are going to give me this real pretty color right here. Now I'm taking my little brush here, and I'm going in those little edges that I couldn't reach with my other brush to make sure I get in those tiny areas on top of the jar. We are almost finished, you guys. I'm just finishing up these little edges here, and then we'll be done. I hope y'all like this jar. What do y'all think about it? Do you like that silver on the top, and do you like the shadow that I gave it? Does it really look like a shadow? Let me know your thoughts on it. I know it's probably not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But I think it turned out beautiful. It really, really gave it a shadow look to it. Well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Stay safe and hydrated if it's hot where you live. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.